Hey guys, this is Abidul and I am explaining the album manager project that has been assigned to me. Um, so this is the first file app.js where I have defined all these routes. Okay, the first route is the home page is the responsible for rendering the album list component. Okay, the second route is to fetch a single album item, and inside that there is a child route called the update form. The update form is we use to update the album. Okay, so let me go to this album list component. So in this component I am fetching all the albums from the API. Okay, and then I am storing it in the albums uh, state, and this is done when the app first loads, first renders. Okay, during the first render, as soon as the app component mounts, the fetching will be started and the albums will be stored in the uh, this state, albums state. Okay, is loading is another state which I have defined to show a loader. Meanwhile, the data is being fetched from the remote API. Other two states are ID and title, which is used to create a new album. Okay, so coming to this J6 part, so this is the form to create a new album, where I am getting the data of ID and the title from the user, and when the user click on the submit button, on submit function will be called. Okay, it is defined here, and a post request will be sent to the remote server with all this data collected from the user. Then I am assigning the header also, and the response which I get, although it is a dummy request, but the request response that I get, I am consoling it to the logging it to the console just to verify that the request is successful. Okay, and down there I am basically uh, rendering all the albums. All right, so for each iteration I am I've created this album component. Okay, so this is the album component, which is basically a card with all the details, the ID and the title. And when I click on the album, I will go to a respective album, which is the album item component. The album item component, I have all these states defined. Okay, alright, so I'm getting the ID, and based on that ID I'm fetching the data from the data of the respective album from the API, right? And then I'm storing it into the current album state. Okay, and down there in the JSX we get the two options to update and delete the um, album. So when I click on delete, this function will be fired. Yeah, this function on delete will be fired, and I'm sending a delete request here, and the data I give as a response I'm consoling, logging it to the console. Okay, just to see my request is successful. Regarding the update, I will go to the update route, which is basically the update form component. uh, the form will appear when I click on the update button with the data of the album, where I can make changes, and then I click on save. When I click on save, I send a put request to the server with all the data collected from the form, and the response that I get, I am logging it to the console just to see the confirmation again. Okay, so I'm going to the browser just to showcase the project. Let me reload it once. Okay, so let me create one album with ID 101 and title say this is a dummy album. Okay, so when I click on submit, I'm getting the data in the browser console. You can see the ID is there, the title is there. Okay, now let me click any of this let me click on this album, so it will fetch the data of the album. The ID is there and the title is there. Okay, let me try to update this. This album has been updated. Okay, this is a dummy request, but we will definitely get the response from the server. So when I click on save, okay, I got the data back from the server. Here you can see the ID and the title that this album has been updated. Okay, now let me show you the delete functionality. When I click on delete, I'm again getting this data empty object, which confirms that the delete operation was successful, and then I'm getting redirected to the home page. So this is pretty much about this album manager. Thank you.